Dear God. It's really reflecting what you're doing, honestly. Still bronze. But it is a bit bright.
Could be too bright.
Yeah.
Hi guys, you right? Can you adjust it? Jamie, I was thinking about this sort of stage of the tournament. There's some teams that maybe the pressure maybe tells on them a little bit, or it starts to, show in some ways. It's never really felt like that's ever been, not being blasé about it. It's never felt like that's been an issue for England, and obviously Saracens have managed to sort of embrace that all the time. Why is that? Is there any specific reason? Is there a lot of work that goes into handling big game pressure, or how does that manifest itself?
I guess it manifests itself from the top down. So Steve talks about it a lot. Got a lot of players who've been there and done that on some big stages. Got players who've got experience in World Cup finals, latter stages of World Cups. Got players this is their fourth World Cup. And I think we've got a great group of senior players who are very open and honest with the younger players who this it could be intimidating for. But yeah, this is why we're here. We want to play on the biggest stages. Quarter final of a World Cup is exactly where we want to be, and then next week we want to be in the semi-final and so on. So it's exciting times, and yeah, the more experienced players probably need to draw on those experiences and make sure everyone's in good spirits going into the weekend.
Is one of the parts of that accepting the scale of it, but also doing what you always do and preparing in the way you always prepare?
Yeah, I think can't shy away from the fact that this is probably one of the biggest games that we're ever going to play in, and I don't think we should shy away from any emotion that comes with that. I think early on in my career in particular, I probably tried to feel a certain way, or tried to be perceived to be feeling a certain way, or try and shy away from emotions, and I don't see why you need to do that. We've got the space to speak to people. We've got a really open group, and if people are nervous, then that's fine. If people are excited, that's fine. But I think the most important thing for us is focusing on each week, and it's something that we've done really well since we've been in France. In particular, is we've got clear things that we need to go after in the week. We try and know our opposition as best as we possibly can, and then be really clear about what we're going to go through in that week, and be as prepared as we can be. And when your focus is on that, it's probably less about the enormity of the occasion.
And some elements of last weekend obviously weren't where you would want them to be, but do you think a large part of that will take care of itself because of the nature of the game, and because actually it feels like if you put all the good bits of all the different performances together, you'd have sort of kind of what you're after, if that makes any sense?
Yeah, I guess so. Look, last weekend wasn't good enough. It was poor, but we've had a really good, open, honest review. We were very clear that some of the stuff wasn't good enough. Our energy levels were poor, and that's probably inexcusable, to be completely honest. Would we rather it happened then than now? Yes. Are we going to learn from it? Absolutely. So, you'll see a very different England team on Sunday.
Tom, can I just check everyone's still fit and available and good to go? Lovely.
Tom's going to give you one word. That's his name.
Yeah, everyone's fit.
Yes.
Good stuff. Nice. Well, I was going to ask about Joe Marler, actually, because obviously, he's been clear about the fact that he wouldn't have put himself forward for something like this if he wasn't fully prepared for everything that came with it. But I just wondered if it was, you could sort of say a word on, what he brings, and to have someone of his experience, all the things he's been through, especially World Cup wise, going to the final last time, and he's been in good form, and I just think that he feels like that in weeks like this, he's probably somebody who is good for the group, isn't he, and good for everything that comes with it.
Yeah, I think he's brilliant for the group on and off the pitch. So he brings a lot of energy around the team room when he's on it. I think, like Jamie's just alluded to, big players step up at big occasions. We've got some very experienced players in our group who will step up and step forward again this weekend. And Joe's one of those players who's been in and around the England team for a very long time, and he's come in well prepared for the challenges that lie ahead.
And just in terms of the scrum, obviously, so much experience in all the guys you've got in the front row, in I suppose the most key element of it. But I know what you're looking for in terms of that stability and everything. How did you see it last weekend, and where do you see it needing to be this weekend to deliver what you're after?
So I think last weekend we had some good challenges. I think we put on a good performance of the scrum. We probably weren't rewarded like we felt we could have been, but we provided some good quality ball to play off. So to take another step forward, Fiji will be another challenge with the strength they've got in their front row, with Maori, with Matavesi, with Tagi, you've got Penny Ravai, all these players playing in top leagues within different countries. Will pose us a different challenge, so we'll be well prepared for that.
Thanks, guys. Thanks.
Hi, Tom. Just on the fitness side of things, there's some pictures of Owen with some pretty heavy strapping around his knee. Can you describe what's happened there?
Yeah, probably had his knee strapped. We've something up.
Is that because of a tweak or anything like that?
Like I said, look, everyone's fit, everyone's trained fully today.
Okay.
There's no issues there.
Fine, so perfectly available.
Perfectly fine. It would just be him preparing for a tough training session to make sure we're in the right place on the weekend.
And a bit earlier in the tournament, you ranked Fiji as one of the best scrums in the tournament. Why is that? What is it they do that a particular threat?
So I think if you look at how they've developed their game around their set piece, they've managed to reduce the amount of penalties they give away. They are big human beings who will rely on that and try to overpower you there. So we've got some strategies in place to deal with that.
And Jamie, you probably know Maui better than most people. What are his qualities and what sort of threats will he pose?
Very, very strong man. He came to Sarries, I think, probably quite a raw, but very, very talented rugby player. And he's worked really hard with Ian Peel at the club to make sure he gets better. And Juan Figelo's come in recently as a scrum coach, and those two have done some excellent work. And for me, Aroni showed that he's a very, very talented scrummager, very strong. And it's going to pose a big threat to us this weekend. But, I guess the inside knowledge is always good when it comes to scrum times, I suppose.
And in terms of line out, do you see the Fiji being vulnerable in that area, that they've sometimes struggled for consistency there?
I think Fiji's set piece as a whole has got a lot better, as Tom alluded to. I think the way that Portugal targeted their line out in particular was something that was very, very interesting, and especially how they go about it. And we've got some complete line out pigs in our team. George Cruz coming in, who's a complete nose, and obviously Steve is his father. Doing a lot of their conversations together are not necessarily fascinating, but they're going to be coming up with a very, very good plan. And we trust in that plan, and we think it's going to, we're going to try and put Fiji under a huge amount of pressure in that area. Thanks.
Jamie, can you explain a bit more about that line-out plan and what you're trying to achieve, I suppose? Because there are a couple of maybe clunky bits, but a couple of really good mauls against Samoa. What do you want it to look like, or what do you want us to see from that area of the field?
I think, one of the plans specifically against Samoa was that we were going to try and maul them from maybe a little bit deeper. I'm not going to give you any tactics away about this weekend, but I think we need it to look a little bit cleaner. Samoa did a good job at sort of disrupting our maul platform, but we still managed to get some good go forward. And as Tom said, we managed to give some good quality ball to our backs. We know that the set piece is going to be huge. We're playing against a very, very heavy pack who especially their maul D is very, very good. So I think we're going to have to be smart about the way that we go about that. We trust the line-out pigs to be coming up with a good plan.
A question for Tom. Last Saturday, Jamie stayed 80 minutes on the pitch. It's very rare for a hooker. Does it mean you don't trust Theodan for this kind of games? And how did the young player react after the game?
I don't think it's a case of not trusting Theodan. I think it's a case of the performance Jamie was putting in was a brilliant performance. The leadership qualities Jamie bring are probably irreplaceable within the group. So in tight moments, we needed Jamie on the pitch, and it's a decision that was made. Theo is brilliant. Theo is the sort of human who goes to work every single day. And his focus is on him getting better. So I guess that answers your question.
Hi, Elliot.
Welcome, Elliot.
Welcome, Elliot.
I was here, but I didn't think people saw me for a bit.
Just reflecting on the performance at the end of the summer against Fiji, obviously a disappointing day defensively. Do you need to change how you defend against a team like Fiji, high offloading team, obviously loads of strike runners, or is it about just making sure you get it correct and it doesn't broadly change the strategy, I guess?
Probably a little bit of both. Obviously, they've got a little bit more of an offload threat than other teams. So obviously want to shut that down as much as possible. But we probably looked at that Fiji game and we probably weren't where we wanted to be. And then from that point, I think we made a conscious decision within the group to really up our defence, to really be that team that people are scared to attack against. And I think in the broad scheme of the last 5-6 games after that game, we proved that. So we just want to go one step further this weekend with that, and obviously, as you said, they've got dangerous runners, so we're going to have to be on it everywhere, not just in the middle of the pitch, out wide as well.
I think the official stats have you down at 6 dominant tackles in the tournament, about 46% of your tackles so far. Where has that come from? You're probably not someone who would naturally be regarded as
Oh, is that my stats?
Yeah, your stats.
Yeah, well. No, I think the way we're pressing, the way we're getting off the line, obviously lends itself to me being sort of in the eye line a little bit more and being able to put on bigger shots probably. But it's probably all from the work from the inside. When we work together like that, then it's brilliant place to defend in, and when we do that, it's really exciting to try and get the ball back. And I think
He's a very angry and moody rugby player, so the dominant tackle hits is just out of frustration, I think. This guy doesn't ever smile on a rugby field.
Down to work.
Jamie, Billy spoke yesterday about England sort of embracing the tag of being public enemy number one, was his words. What do you make of that? Do you, and what do you think has to happen for that to change, to kind of win a few fans?
We're very proud of the English support that we have. I think outside of England, probably people don't really like us too much, and we're okay with that. I think myself, Billy and Elliot come from a club who aren't very well liked either, so we don't mind being in that position. I think that's what Billy alluded to. But I think what we've done since being in France in terms of really building the English support that we've had has been unbelievable, to be completely honest. And in Lille last weekend in particular, going round before the game, walking around the stadium, seeing the amount of white shirts in the stands was breathtaking, to be honest. So we're very, very proud of that. We love the support that we have in France and at home, and outside of that, I don't think we're too bothered.
Why do you think that is? Have you ever thought about it and tried to put your finger on it?
Sorry, just the context of that question is Fiji is everyone's favourite team. That was the context of the previous so it's good stuff. But just what that context there is that question.
Okay. I don't know. Yeah, well, everyone likes Fiji, so there's your answer, I guess. I don't know. I don't think we. It's not like we sit in meetings and talk about it's us against the world. That's not. I don't think that's what Billy was alluding to. But I think the main focus is that we want to make sure that our fans are very proud of the work that we're doing, and anything outside of that, we're not too bothered about.
Welcome. You are at Touquet Plage last week. There in Aix-en-Provence. Did you have the time to discover the city a little during your free time? Is what you like or not?
I went out for a coffee yesterday. It's a very nice city. It's nice to get around France. Obviously, we've been in the Touquet a while, so it's nice to see something different. Some new sets of fans down here as well. So it was good today. We'll probably go out today and tomorrow just to have a look around.
Okay, thank you.
Anyone else? Thank you so much.
Thank you.